Yeah, it's unreal. It's been a long time since I signed with Hull, and obviously there's been some red tape we had to cut through, but I'm finally here, and I'm just looking forward to the rest of the season.
Yeah, you say it's been a while. How frustrating has it been? Was there ever a point where you were concerned about the visa delays, that you weren't going to get here?
No, not at all. It was out of my control, so I couldn't really do anything about it. So I wasn't stressed that much. I knew I was going to eventually end up in Hull. So I'm finally here now, but it got a little bit frustrating because I wasn't training with the team, and and stuff like that you sort of miss. So out there today was the first time I ever passed the ball to another bloke for 4 months. So just like riding a bike, wasn't that hard.
What training have you been doing then?
I've been doing a lot of training. We've got people back in Sydney that are personal trainers. A lot of speed work, plyometrics, stuff like that. A lot of weight training, a lot of NFL sort of training, different sort of training, because NRL training and rugby league training is a lot different than than doing all the stuff that I've been doing. So it's been a bit of a blessing because I've got a little bit more speed back, and I feel really refreshed.
It's been a long time, obviously, since you signed, longer since the news first came out that you were looking to come over here, and Rovers expressed their interest. There are other clubs as well, so why Hull KR?
I just think Hull's, they welcome their Australian players very well, I think, especially with Mark O'Mealy, even though he's with FC, and Craig Fitzgibbon, Clint Newton's here, Joel Clinton, Mick Vella. There's a lot of Australians here, and I thought that it'd be a great mix. I knew Morgs, I met him a while ago and I played against him. Probably ragdolled him a couple of times. But just little things like that sort of clicked, and I really wanted, if I was going to make a move, this far, I really wanted to be comfortable, and I thought, Hull KR was the best spot.
Just in the ribbon you got there, is that a sign of things to come from Willie?
Yeah, most probably. But yeah, we're just delighted that he's here. He's larger than life character, but more importantly, he's a world class international rugby league player. And we've already seen today. We've only been outside for half an hour or so, and the energy that he's already brought to the team. The training's fantastic, and I just can't wait to see him out on the pitch. And I know it's a long term thing. He's here for at least a couple of years, and I know all the fans and myself obviously very excited about watching him play.
I know you got fed up with me asking the question when he was coming. I don't have to ask that anymore, thankfully. I know you're probably fed up with me asking what he's going to bring to the side, but he's here now. You've been able to get him involved in training. What does he bring to the side? Where do you see him fitting in?
Well, the obvious ones are his experience. He's won the Clive Churchill Medal. He's won grand finals. He's played State of Origin, played for Australia. And arguably one of the best players in his position in the last 10 years or so. So experience is the obvious thing that he's going to bring. He's certainly going to bring some size to our pack. I've said all along, over a period of time, most really looking to play him on the edge a little bit. He's got a great pre and post line offloading in his game, and is naturally an aggressive person the way he plays. So a lot of positive attributes, but the one that I'm really looking forward to, is tapping into his experience and his seniority as a player, and looking to him to bring on some of the young players. We've got some young forwards at Hull KR at the moment. Young Liam Watt, Scott Taylor's just broken into the team. Jordan Cox and a few other guys that I'm sure will learn plenty from the big man. So yeah, it's all very, very positive in lots of things that he's going to bring to the team.
Willie, do you see yourself, is that part of your plan and what you'd like to get out of this, apart from playing games, being able to help some of the younger players and develop the game over here with hockey?
Yeah, it is. I suppose that's been my role in a lot of teams throughout my career, because I think once you reach a status in the game, a lot of young players look up to you regardless of how old you are. So, I'm 30 years old now, and that, what I've done in the game, it's you sort of have to bring that to the table. You have to, you are an experienced player. You have to be a role model with these young kids, and I see a lot of young big blokes that I was just training with out there in the forwards. They just need a little bit of help here and there, and their game can go from an average player to a really good player.
You mentioned that you are 30, and a lot's been mentioned.
I don't look 30.
Say again, sorry? People talk about experienced and big name players who come over to play in this game, and they say that they've just seen out the career. It's a final payoff for them. Have you still got the hunger for the game? Do you see it like that?
No, I don't see it like that. I know a lot of players that have come over for that excuse, but I could easily stay in the NRL for another 3 or 4 years and finish my career there. But I've always wanted to test myself in the English Super League. I always watched it since I was a young bloke. You know, I watched the Challenge Cup, I watched the Grand Finals, and obviously playing over here and touring over here 3 or 4 times, the crowd and the passion that the people have about their sport, I love, and I want to be involved in that. The only way we get that sort of passion is when you play State of Origin, if you play against the English team over here or something like that. But I just wanted to come over here when I was about 30, because I think I could play another 5 years in the NRL. You know, so it was my decision, and I told my manager I could have easily, with all the stuff that was going on and the fees are dragging on and everything like that, there was a lot of fishes, you know, a lot of sharks circling going, oh, do you want to, you know, stay in the NRL, do you want to do this? And I could have easily backed out of the deal and stayed in the NRL. Not easily, but if I wanted to do that, I had that choice, you know, and I had the choice to stay there. But, you know, I don't want to play in the NRL anymore. I've played there for 12 years. I've played at the top there for 12 years, and I need another test, so to speak.
I know we're going to hand back to Peter Levy shortly. I know lots of journalists wanting to ask questions here. One for you, Neil Hudgell, the chairman. Neil, obviously chairman of the club, but lifelong fan of the club as well. Where does Willie's signing rank amongst the big names that you've had at this club?
Well, he's obviously a very high-profile player. Met him for the first time yesterday. Obviously, I've spoken to him a couple of times on the telephone. He's got great enthusiasm. He's not here for the book. He's here to finish his career with a massive bang, and that we just thought we'd deliver on that on our side of the fence as well. Big signing, but he's on the back of a number of big signings that we've made down the years. We're very proud of the overseas contingent that we've got in the club. We've got some good people in there, and as well as a great player and a great ambassador for the sport, we think we've also added a good person in Willie.
You mentioned pride. How proud are you to be able to bring Willie to the club?
I think that it speaks volumes for our ambition as a club. We don't make idle boasts about things. I think that we just want to go about our business and improve year on year. Willie's recruitment this year is part of a strategy for growth that, as Mike has alluded to in his opening statement, includes some stadium development as well. And we know as a club that we need to grow on and off the field to become a genuine player at the top end of Super League. We're a little bit away from that at the moment, but having Willie here today is another small step in that direction.
Okay, I know this press conference is going to continue. We'll bow out gracefully from our live broadcast on BBC Radio Humberside. You can have your say on Sports Talk tonight from 6:05, of course. We'll have more on the press sequence as well.
Obviously back in Australia, I guess a lot of people think of rugby league thinking, oh, you know, it's not quite as big as football, but the contingent you brought here, there's a festival of Willie Mason. What have you made of all this? Yeah,
I was very surprised when I walked through the door. I don't know what to say. I'm very happy to be here. You know, it's been, as I said before, a little bit frustrating because I've missed out on a couple of games and the pre-season and stuff like that. But that was out of my control, so I couldn't really control that. So I wasn't really, you know, stressed about that. But you know, I'm just really happy to be here. You know, I want to repay all the fans that have, you know, obviously here and that are going to support me throughout the year.
Were you expecting anything like this at all?
No, I've been in a few press conferences, but not for this sort of reason. But it's great.
Willie, you say you could play for 4 or 5 years in the NRL. How long do you think you can play in Super League?
Well, I'm planning. You know, I've got 3 years here. You know, it just all depends on how my body feels. And at the moment now, I feel better than ever. So, you know, it all depends. I think that's with any play. If you have some major injuries and your body can't do what it used to do 10 years ago, you just dwindle out of the game and you just sort of retire. But at the moment now, I feel on top of the world. So, you know, as long as I'm feeling good, 3 or 5 years, it should be fine.
You feel it's a less intense competition and therefore?
No, I don't. I think I went through an era with the NRL where when I come into the game, it was a very aggressive game. It was there was a lot of big guys around. You know, it was very intimidating as a young guy coming up. And I think as the years progress, it's more athletic in the NRL. You know, there's not that many big hits or anything like that. And I just think probably the English Super League is a little bit more old school, and it's probably a little bit more in your face. And you know, you get hit hard, and you get hit hard. So it'll suit my game, and that's one of the reasons why I did want to come over here. So I don't think the English Super League is far off the NRL at all. I think it's different spectrums. You know, I think the NRL are more athletic because I think they're trying to turn athletes into footballers now instead of the other way. You know, over here everyone's, you know, pretty rough and tough, and they love to get in your face and everything like that, and that sort of suits my game.
I'm just going to say to you, Neil, you announced Willie's signing in early September, and it's 6 months later now that he's finally arrived. It must have been a very difficult time for the club in the last 6 months, with people like us sort of saying, is he or is he not going to turn up?
Well, I think on just talking on the personal level, there's bags under my eyes because I'm still working on getting back to normal sleep. It's sort of been an arduous process. I think, as Willie said, it was always a question of when he was here, not if he was here. But it goes with the territory, doesn't it? He's a big name, and there's always going to be a recurring and constant interest in the story. Fortunately, it's reached a conclusion, probably a decent time for us. We're only at the 5th round of the competition, so we're happy to have him here. It'd been ideal to have had him here before the start of the season, but we don't win trophies in February and March, so we're looking forward to him hitting his straps very quickly.
Can I just follow that up by just asking Justin whether Willie's playing on the weekend, Justin?
Yes, likelihood that he will play. We'll see how he goes for the remainder of the week, but I know he's very, very willing and able. So yeah, I'm fairly confident that he's going to take his place somewhere in the team on the weekend. So we'll see how the week rolls out, but he's extremely determined to play this weekend. I want him to play, his teammates want him to play, so unless we have a hiccup during the week, I can't see any reason why he won't be playing.
Have you heard much about the city and the council?
Have I heard much? Yeah, I heard a lot. It was funny. I was at my local pub in Clovelly, and there was a group of about 12 people, and they were all from Hull, and they were all Hull KR supporters, and they were warning me about the fans and how passionate they are, and don't talk to FC players, and we'll hate you, this and that. So I'm well aware of how passionate the fans are on both sides, and it just comes with the territory. I'm pretty pumped to play in front of the crowd here. And really rip in and play really passionate for them, because I know they're passionate and they expect a lot from their players. So I think the players are going to. So I think that's why the players do get in a lot, because of the support.
Any more questions?
Yeah. Well, you mentioned Mark O'Mealy and Craig Fitzgibbon before. Did you just speak to any other players before you decided to compete?
Yeah, I'm really good mates with Oga and Fitzy. Played a lot of football with them. They love it. Just the whole city and everything like that. That comes with it. The fans, the way that the game's played. They really enjoyed their time. And my fiance was a bit nervous about coming over, but she's really good friends with Sandy O'Mealy, Oga's missus. So all them little things made the transition a lot easier. So.
Any more questions? Yeah, there's been a lot of buzz amongst the fans about your first encounters with Jamie Peacock and Stuart Fielding. Are you looking forward to getting on the pitch with them again?
Yeah, I can't wait. Jamie Peacock, I've got a lot of respect for Jamie Peacock. He's a very good player. He's been a good player for years. And with Stuart Fielding, that'll just stay on the field, see what happens. We'll wait for it. Should be a good game.